The faculty and staff, as well as the students, need time to be together, need time to work through this together.
An unknown incident causes an emergency shelter in place where students at UW-Platteville will tell you what we do know tonight.
Plus, police on Lake Monona update us on their search for a missing boater.
And the Madison School District teaming up with Madison Metro to offer summer bus passes, how your students can take advantage of the service.
And that is all coming up on News 3 now at 10.
Well, we start tonight with continuing coverage of a story we have been following since late this afternoon.
Police in Platteville confirmed an active situation at Wilgus Hall around 4 o'clock this afternoon. In the time since, police say that the situation has ended. We have had very few other details confirmed in this situation, but we do know finals are canceled on the UW-Platteville campus and also the UW-Platteville Baraboo campus in Sauk County. University staff say that counseling is also available through Mantra's Care Hub at any time. The Platteville School District as well says classes will be held as usual tomorrow, and counseling services will be available to anyone who needs it.
Well, we are bringing you team coverage tonight from the UW-Platteville campus. Jalen Banks attending a vigil near campus. Armand Rahman visited with neighbors to the Platteville campus, and Maddie Heimsch attended a press conference where police shared how the events unfolded. We go to Maddie now, who tells, we begin, I should say, with Maddie. But as we mentioned, neither the police nor the university provided many details as to what that active situation was. They did say, however, there was one person transported to the hospital.
And even students on campus are wondering what exactly happened today. And Maddie Heimsch is live now on the campus with reaction from students there. Maddie.
Like you guys said, that press conference really leaving students with more questions than answers. Now, a couple different campus officials did go up to the podium to speak, including UW-Platteville Chief of Police Joe Hallman. But when asked questions about today's incident, really few, if any, details were given. And I want to go through a couple of the questions that were asked at the press conference that Hallman would not answer, citing an ongoing investigation. They included things like, what was the incident that occurred? Were there weapons involved? Was a campus weapons policy violated? How many people were injured? How serious were those injuries? Were people transported to the hospital? Were there any deaths? And what can you tell us? Those were all questions asked. And I spoke with a couple students as the press conference wrapped up. They told me they really just hoped to hear more.
I understand that they can't say much, especially with an open investigation, and they got procedures for this. But I would have liked to get at least a little bit more.
I saw everyone in here was super frustrated. I am too, that they didn't reveal much details, if nothing at all. My father actually he was texting me through the whole thing, and it was like, what's happening? It was like, I don't know.
Those students told me a lot of details about the incident had been circulating around campus, and they really felt they knew more through word of mouth than their leaders had been willing to confirm with them. And Police Chief Hallman said there likely would not be any additional information released tonight, leaving those details unknown as students move forward into the week. But in that state of uncertainty, some students came together holding a prayer service for the victims affected in the incident at a local church, and that's where we find our Jalen Banks. Jalen, what are those students telling you?
Maddie, I'm at Rolling Hills Church, which is just under a mile from campus, and people have been praying here all evening. And it's been described to me that this is during a time of pain, uncertainty, and confusion. Now, starting at 7:30 this evening, there has been a student-led prayer. And I spoke with the head pastor of Rolling Hills, and he shares with me their congregation has quite a few UW-Platteville students, and they wanted to give them a chance to come together as not only a church, but a community to pray for Platteville. I had a chance to speak with two students about why they came to the prayer service.
That's all we can really do is pray for the better of outcomes after what has already happened, even though it's not great. Praying for better opportunities and a better future ahead of us can help put us ahead, I feel like.
I came here just saying, hey, I should do this for my community. I may not be religious, but I care about my community and people, so it is important to be here.
Now, just within the last few minutes, the service just wrapped up. spending nearly 3 hours praying and sending all their well thoughts and wishes to the Platteville community after what happened, this incident. But I'm going to send it over to our Armand Rahman, who's on campus currently. Armand, what can you share with us?
Yeah, that's right, Jalen. I'm here live outside of Wilgus Hall, the dorm rooms where this isolated incident occurred earlier this afternoon. And I'm going to move out of the way here so you can take a look and see at those many windows that are left with lights on, but absolutely no one inside. They're somewhat eerie reminders of these students being told in a hurry to rush, pick up what they had to, and evacuate. Now, like the students that Maddie had spoken to, many did not know a lot about what was going on from officials. All they could tell me was that they were first told over loudspeaker to shelter in place. Then they were told to leave, like these two freshmen who quickly grabbed the necessities and left their first year of college life behind in a hurry.
Walk out and I smell like smoke, which I now know is gunpowder, but it's like, I wonder if there's fire going on. We thought it was just a drill. We weren't thinking. We came out, there were cops. I heard someone in a gun, and then we got emails saying evacuate and stay in your dorms. Everyone avoid Wilgus at all costs.
And those two freshmen tell me they even had left eggs and other food in their fridge that they were planning to empty out for the end of the school year. They have not been told when they can return yet to their dorm rooms. And obviously the last few days for these students of their college years being turned on their heads, as you mentioned. Final exams at UW-Platteville being canceled here for the year. For now, reporting live outside of Wilgus Hall on the UW-Platteville campus, I'm Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Thank you so much, Armand. And you can get the latest news and updates on this story right to your cell phone with the Channel 3000 News app. You'll get our latest push alerts on breaking news as it happens. That app is free and easy to find. Just search Channel 3000. Also, be sure to tune in tomorrow morning as Josh Sprider will also be live in Platteville starting at 4:30 a.m. with the latest details.
Now next at 10, another top story, our weather. And if you didn't like today, maybe a little too windy and chilly, well, just wait. Tomorrow will be even worse with an alert day. And here's Alex with more.
Yeah, I have to find a little light humor in it. Earlier, we were saying it's going to be a miserable day, and that's probably the best way of explaining it. The combination of heavy, cold rain and strong winds, possibly gusting over 40 miles per hour. Not going to be a nice day, especially if you're considering any driving tomorrow. If you drive a high-profile vehicle, it's not going to be an easy go on Tuesday across southern Wisconsin. The rain is starting to finally make it into far southwest Wisconsin, and it's just kind of hanging out here between Prairie du Chien down to Platteville, down to Butte. And as we put our future track radar into motion, take note, it's a slow progression into southwest Wisconsin, making it over to the Lone Rock, over to the Monroe area, south and west of Madison. By the time we get a little bit further into the morning hours, about 4 or so in the morning. Coming up, though, in Maine weather, we're going to track when that line of showers and a couple of embedded thunderstorms makes it across the rest of southern Wisconsin, when it peaks, when it ends, how much water we can expect, and just how strong those wind gusts could get on Tuesday. That's in a little bit.
Alex, thank you. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says the rescue of a man on Lake Monona is now a recovery mission.
He and 3 others were on a sailboat that capsized Friday night. The other 3 made it to shore. Armand Rahman has the latest on the search from the Dane County Sheriff's Office.
Crews were out as early as 6 a.m. Monday, continuing to battle the wind and choppy waters on Lake Monona as they continue searching for the man who went missing Friday night.
This is a recovery operation. It became a recovery operation Friday evening.
Dane County Sergeant Kyle McNally tells News 3 Now the Fontana Fire Department from near Lake Geneva is also assisting with their underwater sonar vehicle called a towfish, which is helpful in windy, choppy conditions.
We're in 30 to 50 feet of water out there, which makes the standards fishing side scan a little more difficult to read. This puts the sonar down where it can read it better. We have 2 underwater drones out there with us today, so once something is marked on the sonar, we can go proof to see what it is. Those are equipped with sonar themselves, and then they also have live camera, and it can go up and grab an item and kind of investigate what we're looking at.
Sergeant McNally says what likely happened Friday is that because the isthmus blocked the wind, the boaters thought it was calm enough to sail out, but then realized it was too windy, tried to turn around, and capsized and separated. Reporting in Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Armand. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says the sailboat was short one life jacket, so that man wasn't wearing one when the boat capsized.
And in Rock County, the Beloit Police Department says it had rescued a man who drove his vehicle into the Rock River. They say it happened directly across the river from the ABC Supply campus. They say a Jeep was about 40 yards into the river and sinking when they arrived. The 42-year-old Rockford man was trapped inside. 2 officers waded into the water to help him. After the Jeep was fully submerged, he was able to break a window and get out. An officer then pushed him to shore. The man was arrested for first offense operating while intoxicated. Safety concerns have closed a major Mississippi River bridge in Crawford County that connects Wisconsin to Iowa along Highway 82. That closure happened a little while after midnight Sunday. Now, the project manager of the replacement bridge said a sensor indicated that one of the piers moved or shifted beyond their safety threshold, causing that closure. The current bridge opened back in 1931. They've been working to replace it. But Highway 82, by the way, the only river crossing in a 60-mile stretch between Prairie du Chien and La Crosse.
Metro Transit and the Madison School District are teaming up again to offer free summer bus passes for students in grades 6 through 12, including recent grads. The Summer Youth Pass lets eligible students ride Metro for free from June 12th through September 1st. Those with existing Madison School District passes can keep using them, while new riders can now access a virtual pass through the Metro Transit Fast Fare app. Elementary and out-of-town students can purchase a pass for $35. All you have to do is visit mymetrobus.com for details.
Well, still to come tonight, we will have the latest on the president's diagnosis and what his prognosis is, the former president Joe Biden, and also what it means for those who may be concerned about diagnosis of prostate cancer. Stay with us.
Drivers in Fitchburg can expect some lane closures on Fish Hatchery Road through June 15th. Beginning today, 1 and sometimes 2 northbound lanes will close between High Ridge Trail and Traceway Drive. The city says crews are installing a water main. At least 1 lane will stay open, but drivers are encouraged to take alternate routes.
In McFarland, the village's Police and Fire Commission has ended its months-long search for a new police chief without making an appointment. 4 finalists were interviewed back in March, but commissioners said none fully matched the department's needs. So interim Chief Brian Redmond will remain in that role as the village pauses to reassess its recruitment process and prepares to reopen applications. No timeline has been set for restarting that search.
The 115th Fighter Wing of the Wisconsin Air National Guard is back doing nighttime training flights this week. The F-35 jets will be in the air causing some noise tonight through Thursday. This is expected to last each night until 11 p.m. The Air National Guard does say they will be taking specific paths during the training to try to reduce noise that residents could hear. The training is necessary to maintain the fighter wing's overall readiness.
Continuing coverage tonight of former President Joe Biden's Sunday announcement that he's suffering from an aggressive form of prostate cancer, according to a statement from his personal office yesterday. Biden was evaluated last week for a new finding of a prostate nodule after experiencing increasing urinary symptoms. On Friday, the 82-year-old was diagnosed with prostate cancer that had spread to his bones. Now, the statement said that while this is a more aggressive form of the disease, the cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, allowing for effective management. We'll have more on Joe Biden's diagnosis and what signs to look for yourself coming up in about 10 minutes. President Donald Trump has signed a new law that makes it a federal crime to distribute non-consensual, explicit deepfake images online, called the Take It Down Act. The bill targets AI-generated content that superimposes a person's face onto nude bodies without their permission.
We will not tolerate online sexual exploitation, and especially it's gone on at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's getting worse and worse, and I think this is going to hopefully stop it.
Today, I'm proud to say that the values of Be Best will be reflected in the law of the land.
The law also requires online platforms to remove explicit AI-generated content within 48 hours of notification. The bill received bipartisan support and fills a gap in federal law, which previously only protected minors nationwide.
The Trump administration has agreed to pay $5 million to the family of a January 6th participant killed by police that day. A U.S. Capitol police officer shot and killed Ashley Babbitt as she attempted to break into the House Speaker's lobby outside of the House of Representatives chamber. Babbitt's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the government and was seeking $30 million. The officer involved in the shooting was cleared of any wrongdoing. Well, some rain, thunderstorms, and high winds and Desperate, awful stuff could be in our forecast for tomorrow. I don't know how else to describe it. Desperate, awful.
No, we said miserable earlier. We said it's just going to be not a nice day. It's going to feel more like early March weather when you take the combination of the rain, cold temperatures, strong winds, then a day as we approach late May. It's not going to be a nice one out there, and that's why we're highlighting tomorrow as an impactful day with the combination of the heavy rain and the strong winds. And what are we up against in terms of overall threats? 1 to 2 inches of rain at least for much of the area. Some isolated higher amounts are possible. Winds could be gusting at times over 40 miles per hour, if not considerably over 40 miles per hour, which I'm going to mention here. We're using Future Track in just a moment. Those who have any travel plans tomorrow, if you have a long commute, a long drive, it's not going to be an easy go tomorrow. If you drive any high profile vehicles, it's also going to not be an easy go as we go into Tuesday. Some showers, even a couple of isolated thunderstorms eyeing up areas near the Mississippi River, near Dubuque, just south and west of Platteville, south and west of 151. A couple other feeder type showers, meaning these are showers pulling into the weather system up towards the Dells, up around 90 here up towards the Laval and Loganville and Baraboo area. This is just a hint of things to come. The weather system for us is just gearing up here across the rest of southern Wisconsin. Nothing quite yet, except in far southwest Wisconsin and up towards the Dells. But that's going to change as we move forward here. Future Track showing widespread rain and a couple of embedded thunderstorms as we head towards that 6 o'clock morning commute. It is going to be a wet one from I-90, I-94 south and west, and then wet for everybody as we go through the day. A couple of embedded thunderstorms. Can't rule out a little bit of small hail, but we're not going to be experiencing severe weather with this weather system. On and off showers, and then they redevelop. A couple more showers and maybe a clap or two of thunder as we go into Tuesday night, going on into Wednesday. Just getting updates now, going for scattered showers, continuing into Wednesday as this weather system kind of pivots and meanders over the area. And total water amounts might be a bit overdone in southwest Wisconsin in the 3 to 5 inch range. I think widespread 1 to 2, maybe an isolated 2 to 2.5 inch amount south and west of Madison. But this is certainly good news. While it's not going to be a pretty day out there, at least we're getting the water that we need. With wind gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour, and look at some of these temperatures that we're going to be experiencing. 40s tonight, that's pretty much normal for this time of year, but high temperatures barely making it to 50, and you got 50 mile per hour winds. It's going to be a raw day, as my mom often would say, when those early spring-like weather systems bring us those cold, windy conditions. Let's go full screen here as we take a peek at our 10-day forecast as we head out towards the weekend. Back into the 60s we go, but that's still below normal for this time of year, but at least it's not 50 mile per hour winds and a 49-degree rain. As we head towards Memorial Day Monday, a couple rain showers, a bit on the cool side, but then we start to warm up as we get out into the middle of next week. So not a nice day tomorrow. I have, as folks know, have had a bit of a foot issue, so I'm not going to feel bad tomorrow because people probably aren't going to be out walking tomorrow. You're probably
not jealous.
I'm not jealous, not tomorrow at least. But in all seriousness, tomorrow is going to be not a nice day for driving in a raw day.
So tie those the weather patio furniture down
Yep.
tonight or tomorrow morning.
Hold on tight tomorrow.
All right,
It'll be
thanks,
messy.
Alex.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we got baseball indoors. Good thing that stadium has a roof.
Good thing it has a roof, and Brewers did something they haven't done in a couple of weeks. Win a game one in their series, and they did it thanks to William Contreras. Just call him Clutch. Captain Clutch has his big hit that gave the crew the win. Find out when he did it next on News 3 Now. The Packers snapped a 2-decade-plus streak of not taking a receiver in the first round when they drafted Matthew Golden, 23rd overall in this year's NFL Draft. And the Texas wideout officially became a member of the Packers today, signing, according to Adam Schefter, a 4-year, fully guaranteed $17,580,000 contract with the franchise. Well, later this week, Madison College baseball is headed to their home away from home, Oklahoma, for yet another trip to the JUCO Division II World Series. It's the Wolfpack's record-setting 7th straight appearance. Now, the bracket for the double elimination tournament will be unveiled tomorrow afternoon, so they'll find out their seed and opponent then. For now, well, the guys are just excited to be heading back for another shot at a national championship.
We've been there 14 times now or something like that, and haven't fully gotten all the way to being number one, and that's been the number one goal this year, has been to get the number one spot at the end of the year.
A lot of teams have gone there, but no teams have won yet. So our only expectation is to win it. We don't want to be content with going. I mean, we've gone every other year, so just that isn't anything really at this point. It's now just winning it is our only goal.
Brewers opening up a 3-game series with the Orioles. Jump to the 8th, tied at 4, and William Contreras had 4 hits in this one, none bigger than that. He smacks one right back up the middle to drive in the game-winning run. And remember, he's doing this with a fractured finger. Game 2 is tomorrow, and you can watch it on Television Wisconsin at 6:30. Well, the game times have been set for Whitewater Baseball's best of 3 Super Regional with conference rival UW-Oshkosh. First pitch for Friday's game is set for 11 o'clock. Game 2 starts at noon on Saturday with a winner-take-all Game 3 to follow if necessary. The Warhawks went 5-1 against the Titans this season. And Jerry Kelly came into this morning tied for the lead at the region's tradition with 4 holes to play. On 16, he rolls in the long birdie to drop to 19 under. On 17, though, he'd bogey and need to eagle 18 to force a playoff hole. But the Madison native comes up just short on his chip. Kelly would close out the tournament with a birdie and finish one shot back in second place. We're back after this.
Tonight, Colbert's all new with Mission Impossible's Angela Bassett.
Do you do your own stunts?
Walking. Sitting.
Right? CBS tonight.
Well, there's a new way to get to Sesame Street through Netflix. That's after the show's producer, Sesame Workshop, reached a deal with the streamer. The move comes after Warner Brothers Discovery decided not to renew a 5-year deal for the show for its streaming service. The 56th season of the beloved children's program will be released on Netflix in 3 batches. It'll have a reimagined format. In addition to a new season, Netflix is getting the rights to 90 hours of previous episodes.
I'm giggling because I'm watching the people, what do you call them? The puppeteers.
Muppets. Yeah. Muppets?
Yeah. People.
They're Muppets, right? On that one too, the Jim Henson group.
Yeah, but they're just because you. I don't know why that's so
We
funny.
all know them well.
Oh,
It's a Monday.
It is a Monday.
And it'll be a Tuesday to sit home and watch the Muppets.
Yep, indeed, all day long with the heavy rain that we're expecting tomorrow. Heavy rain, strong winds, all of southern Wisconsin. Definitely a day to just be indoors. And if you do have to be outdoors and have to drive or anything tomorrow, it's going to be a tough go with winds gusting at times upwards of 40 miles per hour. The good news is we're going to get a good rain out of this. Solid inch or 2 of rain. I think that 3 to 5 in southwest Wisconsin might be a bit overdone. But the takeaway point is a good rain on the way, and southern Wisconsin needs it, and we deserve it.
We do. Thank you, Alex.
But hold on to your hats.
Hold on to your hat.
Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Have a good night.